Okay, well, I didn't really have any Doctor Strange cosplay material lying around, so I thought, hey, Doctor Strange? Stranger Things? Huh? Huh? Doctor Strange has always been one of the most mysterious figures in Marvel's pantheon of superheroes. Now, more than 50 years after this incredible character's creation, he is finally ascending to the astral plane known as the mainstream and finally getting his dues. That is why today we are going to take a special look at some of the more unknown and obscure facts concerning the Sorcerer Supreme. Is it just me, or does that term remind you of Taco Bell? And suddenly I'm getting a craving for cheesy gordita crunches. Dr. Stephen Strange, once a gifted surgeon who goes on to become the mightiest magician in the cosmos. As Earth's Sorcerer Supreme, the good doctor is tasked with defending the world of the metaphysical, paranormal, and the occult. Okay, so for a character with such a long and rich history, there is still so much about Strange that isn't common knowledge, so let's get to it. The creation of renowned comic book artist Steve Ditko, Doctor Strange, almost started off without his doctorate, as he was initially supposed to be Mr. Strange. I think some blood dripped onto my lips. Many of the folks at Marvel Comics in the 60s felt that the name was way too similar to Fantastic Four patriarch Reed Richards' alias Mr. Fantastic. So at the last minute, Ditko and Stan Lee changed the character's name to Doctor Strange. The arrival of Doctor Strange into the Marvel Cinematic Universe opens up a host of supernatural story opportunities to tell. Stories that these films never previously had access to. That same comparison can actually be drawn when it comes to Strange's creation in the comics. Mysticism and black magic were elements that were untapped by Marvel in the early 60s. It was actually a 1930s radio serial called Chandu the Magician that both Ditko and Lee were very fond of that served as the inspiration for Doctor Strange's creation. Doctor Strange's full name is Dr. Stephen Vincent Strange. His middle name, Vincent, is an homage to the late great actor Vincent Price, an absolute legend in the world of horror films, and he was best known for playing rather arcane and mystical characters. It is no stretch of the imagination that Strange's trademark look was influenced by Price's own physical appearance. Strange first appeared in issue 110 of the anthology series Strange Tales, which he shared with the Human Torch. A mint condition copy of that introductory issue has gone on to sell for a whopping $61,000. Not bad for a comic book character that many have mistakenly viewed as B-list simply because of historically low comic book sales overall. The Sanctum Sanctorum is the place where Doctor Strange hangs his cloak, a 3-story townhouse in the heart of New York City's Greenwich Village. Its address, 177A Bleecker Street, happens to be a real-world address of an apartment, which was shared by Marvel writers Roy Thomas and Gary Friedrich. Even if a lot of us were not fortunate to have lived through them, I'm sure most of us are aware that the 60s and 70s were a groovy, swinging time. However, were you aware that Doctor Strange played a major part in the psychedelic hippie counterculture? Doctor Strange comics were actually very popular with Ken Kesey and his merry pranksters as they traveled cross-country by bus whilst under the influence of various substances. Steve Englehart, who wrote for Doctor Strange, also admitted that frequent LSD trips influenced a lot of his run on the title. In 1978, following the success of the Incredible Hulk TV series, CBS greenlit a made-for-TV movie that would serve as a pilot for a proposed Doctor Strange TV series. The TV movie starred a relatively obscure actor named Peter Hooton, who played psychiatrist Dr. Stephen Strange, and Arrested Development and Archer star Jessica Walter as evil sorceress Morgan Le Fay. A Doctor Strange feature film has been trying to get off the ground for the past 30 years. In that time, a host of talented individuals have been attached to the project, including Back to the Future screenwriter Bob Gale, horror icon Wes Craven, Batman Begins writer David Goyer, and Guillermo del Toro. The closest the film actually came to being made was way back in 1992. Charles and Albert Band acquired the option to make a Doctor Strange film, but it expired before the production even began. Now, instead of completely scrapping their efforts, they reworked the script and characters, and the final result was an extremely obscure and oh so awesomely terrible film called Dr. Mordred. While it is extremely difficult picturing anyone else other than Benedict Cumberbatch as a Sorcerer Supreme, he actually wasn't Marvel's first choice. Joaquin Phoenix was nearly the keeper of the Eye of Agamotto. When the deal fell through, a host of other actors were considered, including Johnny Depp and Suicide Squad's Jared Leto. But it was Sherlock himself who ended up winning out. And I am so fucking glad. All this time, Doctor Strange has been such a pivotal force in Marvel Comics. He was a founding member of Marvel factions such as the Defenders and the Illuminati. Most unbelievably of all is the fact that Strange has never been a part of the core Avengers team. We are wondering if this is something that will change after his inclusion in the film. There you have it, folks, a little bit of enlightenment in regards to one of Marvel's most enigmatic figures. I am pretty sure I speak for all of us here at AC when I say that I cannot wait to see what Doctor Strange has to offer to the Marvel Cinematic Universe and just how big of a game changer he's going to be. A game changer not only in the kinds of new stories they get to tell, but also the new characters and places that they will get to explore. Until next time, stay geeky, my friends. And a little strange. Always stay a little strange.